Yo, morning guys. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. It's a psychiatric, self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles in our lives, also a supplement process to reach the heights, goals, and ambitions that we set for ourselves, as well as those around us. If you would like an introduction, a brief summary into how we break down the Ahn Rho Project into domains of life, analogies, so on and so forth, you can find it all in the previous live stream for the past 3.5 years, straight to January 2021, and beyond from updated versions. So without further ado, let's just dive into the table of contents for today. So that's the second segment. We have roughly about 10 segments per 15-minute live stream, so it won't take too much of your time. I am also on obviously a very tight schedule and deadline, and so let's just say the first segment is, of course, the introduction. The second is just kind of table of contents, what to expect for the stream. The third segment is the last introductory bit. It covers disclaimers, kind of like what you should keep in mind when I do the live stream, what I keep in mind, being honest, genuine, and not shying away from PC topics and so on and so forth. Next thing, we have the second phase of the stream is broken down into 4 segments. So segment 4 through 7 covers digital assets. It covers photography, what you see is what you get on the left hand side, on the bottom right hand panel. So segment 4 starts off with I believe the directory, so podcasts, audio recordings, this live stream itself, any text that is part of the past 24 hours of the Ahn Project in real time. And then we cover the 5th segment, which covers particularly any social media assets, like on the left hand side here, from stored reflections, not my stuff, typically any educational media. 5 transitions to 6. 6 covers in addition to 7, photography, as well as the Excel database. So it covers measurement, tracking, health, finance, and so on and so forth, as well as the photography segment, which has a lot of commentary and storytelling. Essentially covers food, dietetics, a lot of just, let's say photography. It's usually about groceries and stuff like that. Moving on, after that, the last 4 segments, so 8, 9, 8 tends to be more active. We get up on stream, like you see in the backdrop right here, using D1 and D4 on the side. We get up, we start moving around the room, it's more engaging, and we cover physical items. That's going to be the majority of today's stream. And then 9 is going to be when we sit down here and talk a little bit about abstract things that have happened over the past 24 hours. I may switch that around, by the way. And so that's sort of how we'll close the stream at segment 10 and 11. 10 is just going with the comments at the very bottom left. If you have any questions, any sort of funny memes or shits and giggles you want to leave behind, feel free to go for it. And then 11 is your take-home message. So with that, without further ado, let's move on to the third thing. So third segment. All right. Disclaimers quickly before we begin is that first, we are going to try to be real, raw, and genuine. We won't shy away from non-PC topics because first and foremost, this is, of course, a time record, a time capsule of my life, so it would not serve me in purpose to be anything else. So I will not shy away from non-PC topics. I will not shy away from the good, the bad, or the ugly. And the second thing, even personal insecurities and so on and so forth. Moving on, second point, this is a high utility stream for me. It has to be a benefit, otherwise there's no point in me doing it. In the future, it will be benefit to other people, but for now, at least, it has to be a benefit to me. So that doesn't mean that you can't leave jokes and stuff like that. Feel free to lighten the mood, the atmosphere. You're always welcome to do that. This is just the way that I'm operating the stream as of now. Next thing, the last thing, it's like game 3. Another analogy of the Ahn Project, or at least part of the Ahn Project, is by analogy a game of life, the game of life. So game theory applied to life. Aside from just a time capsule, aside from business, aside from whatever, it's also like a game. So let's just dive into content today. So segment 4, we'll start it seems like on the bottom left hand side we have 2 devices here that have had recordings, and I can say that without further ado that I did have 2 in fact recordings. One was just for about 5 minutes. That's the black one on Samsung on the very bottom left hand panel. You can barely see it because of the comments. I'm going to try to move it up. No, it's not going to move, right? There we go. So you can see it now. Basically that covers one of the devices. Just for 5 minutes I was venting out my frustrations about basically my gardens and how I had to continuously give and give and give. And when will I give enough? When will ever be enough? Do you have to ruin everything from finance to health to employment to business opportunity to even my own sanity before it's satisfied? Because I'm just carrying them as if they're just like little kids. And basically they are kind of like little kids who never grew up properly. And so I had this really ridiculous rant. I was just, going crazy up there. And whatever. And then we have on the right hand side another podcast, another recording. I mean, not a podcast, but audio recording. And that one just ran throughout the day for about 8 hours. It's crazy long. It just captures the entire interactions I had at the workplace as well as coming back on the bus, whatever. And again, just some new employees, new staff. I'm resigning, but it's always I'm not going to go through in detail what it stands for. And last but not least, of course, we did have a live stream yesterday as well as today, which on the right hand side right here. So we're just going to transition into segment 5 for today. Like I said, is digital media assets. So first, let's start off here. Of course, we had the recordings, but we also have the live stream, like the one you're watching right now, or as a video format if you're watching post-mortem. So this is when post-mortem, not more. That's a very somber way. But when the world ends, oh, that's very somber too. So obviously it covers a little bit of why is the title this? It's largely because of this live stream. I have been wondering when I'm going to finally recover from this 10-month streak, and right now it still looks like a mess in D1 and D4. We'll get to that later on stream in about 5 minutes or so. But basically, I've been waiting for myself I've been trying and failing consistently to dig myself out of the hole that I'm in right now. Everything's in the shitter, from relationships to finance to blah, blah, blah. And I've just been trying to get things together because I've been taking care of 2 grown-up 60-year-old kids, honestly, and it's just very, very taxing to have been doing this for 3 decades, and now I'm just trying to dig out. And right now, symbolically speaking, I can't even take care of my health, my groceries. I'm not sleeping well, and I'm getting to work on time. It's nuts, and my relationships are dilapidated. So it's just when, So it's just continue. That's why the title is like that. And it says, fool, just giving too much of your time. I'm giving too much of my time to people who don't deserve my time. And I should focus it on people who really do matter. And that's what I intend on doing. But it's, easier said than done. So that's that. That's the title. That's the live stream. That's the media asset. So we have to move to the left-hand panel right there because we're still on the digital media aspect. So this will store reflections, like I said, a page on Instagram. You don't have to, it's not my stuff. That's the reason why I'm saying this. Just credits go out to that. It's one of the few pages I actually follow. This is from Steve Jobs. It says, your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. And, I hope you can agree with that. Everything in moderation, right? It's not to say you can't admire and try to incorporate certain aspects of other people into your own development as a person, but eventually you should find your own sort of steady state personality and stay true to that. So let's move that to the side. There's just a lot of stuff there. Okay, there's no photography today. Okay, I'm gonna move to the side and cover the database. So right here we have inventory, research. Now I did have to cover, so I'm going to move into segment 9. It's a little bit disoriented. I think I'm going to switch it up. So basically in segment 9 I said it was going to be abstract visual storytelling, non-visual storytelling. So one of my colleagues of course is at the workplace. She's when her husband passed away, I'm not going to say who, but the point is, it means to get a bunch of resources for a lot of my colleagues before I resign. A lot of just gifts, tools, things they can use, information, resources. And, I've been starting to get a sense, a mental layout, a framework in my head going of what I want to give to who. And one of the things I've been working on in the past 4 hours yesterday night was getting certain videos down from School of Life, which you can find, again, I have a link to that on my channel anyways. School of Life is a great channel itself. And so, long story short, it's kind of about mourning and grieving, and just showing that, giving my condolences, but also giving her something hopefully that she and her family can use to move on from the passing of her husband, which is a very difficult time, and so on and so forth. So that's one thing, but I also have other things I need to coordinate. So we're going to move on to that real soon. Basically, I have in this spreadsheet the links to some of those that I've researched, some of those videos that I intend on sending that channel, School of Life, that I'm going to send over to my colleague. And that's that. we have that planned the next 5 days or so. And then we also have some inventory, some new food that I didn't take a photography of, but basically it's already recorded inventory in terms of like salmon dish. So it's a class 2 item. Class 2 meaning it's not something I'm supposed to eat. It's not something that I'm supposed to interact with really, because it's a depth food item. But I did eat it, and so I documented that in terms of inventory. That's what I did. So let's move on. Okay. Like I said, no photography, which is great because we don't really have too much time left. We have 4 minutes left and we have a lot to get through. So D1, we're not finished. I thought we were finished. We're not finished. We were continuing from where we had left off yesterday, and we have some new things here and some old things that we didn't cover. So quickly before we move to D4, we have to cover D1. We have this here, which is like a mini samosa thing that actually is from D4. It's new groceries over just 4 days ago. And I put a slice of bread inside as well as some dip from downstairs in the fridge. I'm going to take this to work, and for the first time I'm having dinner at the workplace once again. And so I decided to take these supplements, put it here, and then you'll see later on there's a plastic bag from banana produce. I'm going to take it and bag it all together, take that to work. It's a very small dinner, but it's much better than, for the first time, like I said, instead of having dinner at my place right now, coming back from work, which makes me late for the next day, and then it's just a perpetual cycle, which has been happening for the past 10 months. So that's that, which I guess covers a little bit of health. I should have covered that as a part of the database on the laptop, but it's fine. We have some trash here as well. You can see this paper towels here. It's just run out. So what I'm going to do is going to take something from B1, B2, and move this downstairs, right? I got to move this downstairs to replenish, and this one's just garbage now, trash. We have some stuff here that I covered yesterday that I made a mistake of. So this, I forgot to mention that I have, you can see I cut it out now. I didn't mention that I had to cut out the packaging. I've scanned everything, I cut out the packaging. I have one lamp over there. So I'll take out the packaging, I'll throw away the packaging. But then I also need to take out the lamp, right, the headlamp, and not place it on the table, but in here. Take out the one from the table as well as this one from the new packaging and place it in region B1 inside this red bag here. Didn't mention it, so it goes to region B1 because the gifts inside there. There's like a iPod. You see this kind of USB iPhone kind of thing. Something that I bought that doesn't work for me, so I'm going to give this all to my colleagues. So I'll leave it here symbolically. Gotta take out the packaging for trash. Same thing applies for these batteries. So I completely forgot to do this yesterday. Actually, I didn't have enough time. So I take out the packaging. Shit, the batteries fell down. You see I opened it, right? So just to remind myself, gotta take out the batteries, put it inside the headlamp, bring this to the workplace, and these are gifts for basically my colleagues before I resign. And so that's that. Batteries. Shoot, I gotta put this over there too. Unintended, okay, but again, just trash there. This also, the spoons, forgot to mention, this should be moving over here to region A5, A6, something like that. And now we have, okay, even more stuff I didn't cover. So the food here, this is supposed to go downstairs. I should mention some of this stuff doesn't belong. I covered it, but I didn't say where it's supposed to go with bin location. So same thing with here, just like inventory. This is a outdated expired bread by 3 weeks. Shit, from the fridge. I took it up today. I'm going to toss it out. I had to cut my hair yesterday as well. I cut my own hair. So this is why it's here. And I'll put this away back in region B1. Same thing with these cookies here. They were not here yesterday. They were supposed to be here. It's also for trash. I'm going to finish it in like 2 days time. Alright, now we get to region D4. And we have about a minute left. It's crazy. Alright. These crackers. Trash. It's like 3-4 weeks old. It's got nothing left in there except for the things that don't taste great and that aren't really good for me. Okay, let's move this up here. Okay, so this is also trash. We have these mini bakarwadi kind of things. It's also something that I finished eating, but it's a grocery item. Same thing with the bananas here. So we bought bananas. Again, these are the grocery items for this particular week. Finished the bananas. I covered it in yesterday's stream as well. I ate a banana a day. This is the plastic packaging I used to bag the dinner for today. Then we also have these chips here, which is also almost finished. I'm going to throw it away. And it seems like there's a few more items, a lot more items. There's these cookies here that are about to be finished. Gotta throw away. Okay, you know what? I have less than about 20 seconds left. So as far as I'm concerned, I still have to keep this for tomorrow morning. That's crazy. I can't. Anyways, take home message. We'll continue this tomorrow morning. So take home message, taking care of your health, your finances. I can't even finish the stream properly. So I'll see you tomorrow morning.